Are you lost? Chances are you're going to say yes. And the reason we're lost is because we forgot who we are. We've identified with our psyche. What is our psyche? Our psyche is our personal mind. It's the mind that we've conditioned with our preferences. And so as we continue to live, we keep building preference upon preference upon preference. And when you build preferences and things don't go the way you prefer, you're miserable. The funny thing about that is almost everything you want that you prefer, it's impossible for you to have. Do you think that your preference is going to change the weather? Do you think your preference is going to change traffic? Do you think your preference is going to get people to act differently than they choose to act? No wonder you feel lost. Because you're living in a world of illusion. An illusion that you can control things outside of who you are. Realize that your preferences, contrary to what you believe, are not what you really are. Inside, at the depths of all that you are the observer. You are a point of consciousness. You are a level of awareness. And that level of awareness has no attachment to any preference. It simply is there to experience life. And you see, one of the things that happens when we live with our personal mind, with our preferences, we miss a lot of life. Because we're not there. We're not fully present. We're too worried about trying to make everything around us change to fit what we want it to be. It could be Christmas. You're with the most loving family in the world, but you have a preference that dinner be a specific way at a specific time with a specific food. And when that preference is thrown off just a little bit, your whole day is ruined. Could be you didn't get the gift you want. The example of this, for me, it's a real simple one. Do you have a favorite restaurant? If you do, you have a preference toward that restaurant, right? And if you have a preference toward that restaurant, that means you went there. And that day you went there, man, it was the perfect night. You were in the perfect mood. You were with the perfect person. You had the perfect server, and you ordered the perfect food, and it just was magnificent. And after that night, you posted it on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You posted it everywhere. This is it. This was the best ever. And then you go back the next time, and something is different, which it will be, because it cannot be the same. Number one, the first time was new. Secondly, all the variables that happened the first time are not going to be the same variables as the second. So it will be different. Ergo, a different reaction. Because you created a preference, you're not going to like your day. This happens too when we're with people. You have a first date with someone. It's magnificent. Second date didn't measure up to the first. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? Your preferences cause you to get lost. You're lost in the illusion of preferences. And you're not dealing with what? The reality of life. The reality is whatever's in front of you. Your preferences skew what's in front of you. The ideal way to live is to look at what's in front of you, accept it as it is, and deal with it with love. Move forward, let it go, deal what's in front of you again. Move forward. That's the path of love. If you've been following me at all, you understand that I define love as the awareness and acceptance of our wholeness. You don't need anything to make you whole. You don't need a person to fulfill you. You don't need anything. You're already that. But your preferences have skewed your vision. Because your vision is skewed, you've opened yourself up to suffering. You want to stop suffering? Put aside your preferences and fully live every moment, enjoying as much as you can. And when it's not joyful, feeling it as much as you can, and then letting go and moving forward. That's the path of a spiritual awakened being, a spiritual warrior. That's the path of someone who knows what life truly is. On that path, you're never lost because you're always with you, your best friend, the one thing that will be constant in your life, you. With that, it's a great day to start all over. You're not lost. You've just forgotten your truth. It's time to remember it. Much love.